Madam Speaker, it is now my pleasure to declare the third session of the 11th Parliament open.
On Wednesday, 7th June 2023, the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, officially opened the third session of the 11th Parliament at an event which he delivered his State of the Nation address.
The Speaker's procession for the start of this first sitting of the first meeting of the third session.
The address was preceded by the Speaker's communication to the House, in which he commended legislators for their improved performance during the second session.
During the session of the 11th Parliament, we have held 105 sittings. We have enacted 38 bills. We have passed 39 resolutions, of which 10 were to grant leave to private members to introduce private members' bills. We've adopted 67 reports, concluded 3 petitions, debated 73 ministerial statements. We have considered 7 statements from members. We've also considered 7 statements from opposition. The bills passed in the second session exceed the 23 bills that were passed in the first session by 15 bills, meaning you had an improvement in terms of the bills by 15 bills. Congratulations. This is a testimony of the efficiency and effectiveness of you, the 11th Parliament. Your Excellency, the last State of Nation address, you listed 62 items comprising of government's legislative agenda for the second session. On this, 55 of them were bills, while others were reports. I wish to report that only 17 bills out of the planned 55 bills were actually introduced, representing barely 31% of what was presented. The government's legislative agenda is usually aimed at aiding the attainment of specific policy and development targets of government. I therefore urge you, the leader of government business and the government chief whip, to ensure that the third session witnesses a better achievement of the government's legislative agenda, better than what we had in the second session. As we embark on the third session, which is going to start today, we are duty-bound to effectively serve our electorates that we represent through a regular attendance and participation both in the House and committees.
In his address, President Museveni expressed contentment with the economy's progress, which he said recovered from a nosedive during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The size of our economy was equivalent to US dollars 1.5 billion. That's what it was in 1986. Today, our economy is about US dollars 49.4 billion. In other words, the economy, this is if you use the exchange rate method, in other words, the economy has expanded by more than 30 times since 1986.
He outlined 11 economic priorities that government will focus on in the next financial year, 2023-2024.
The following key strategic areas will be prioritized. Peace and security of person and property, number 1. Effective implementation of the parish development model and Emyoga. Acquisition of right-of-way and starting the construction of the standard gauge railway, as well as finalizing the rehabilitation of the meter gauge railway. Number 4, investing in small-scale solar-powered irrigation systems to address climate change and ensure food security and eliminate the erraticness in agricultural production. Number 5, constructing transmission lines and power substations. 6, maintenance of both tarmac and manned roads. 7, development of industrial parks to ease manufacturing. 8, support to medical schools and science-based research development. 9, expedite the development of the infrastructure for oil and gas production. 10, capitalization of the Uganda Development Bank and the Uganda Development Corporation. 11, support to information, communication, and technology development.
Museveni also noted that a number of interventions will be taken to improve school learning and accountability in government-supported schools.
To improve school learning and accountability in government-supported schools, the following will be undertaken starting next financial year. Strengthen the link between education and socio-economic transformation by promotion of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in education, research, and incubation. Enhancing the technical capacity and skills to support industrial growth, especially manufacturing. Electronic tracking of enrollment, dropout, and retention, and identifying learners, teachers, and institutions using ICT capabilities. Improving the overall staffing levels in the schools. The development of a complete national vocational qualification framework. With our oil money, we shall be able to complete our targets of a government primary school per parish and a government secondary school per sub-county. The railway, the electricity, technical and science education, as well as some national roads, will be the elements our oil money will deal with. I intend to meet with the Petroleum Authority and the oil companies to harmonize so that we do not miss the target of 2025 at the first oil date.
The president also highlighted the fight against corruption in the country.
As regards fighting corruption and improving accountability of institutions, priority will be given to ensuring transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption measures across government systems by implementation of electronic government in especially procurement, health, education, and taxation.
The House is adjourned to 15th June 2023 at 2 at Kololo grounds.
The anthems